And this was the flight UAL 33 going from Newark to San Francisco. And of course, this is the one that might have been taken over by passengers. All right, let's go to Donald Rumsfeld. He is entering now at the net.
Quick shot of this. As you can see, there literally are picture after picture, and people have been coming by here all day long and looking at these pictures, and it's a remarkably poignant scene. It's almost like it almost has like the feel of a church. As people come here, they stand silently, they read the different biographies, the descriptions, the individual stories that make up this extraordinary tragedy. But it really is, as you pointed out, that these people are clinging.
That's part of it.
Well, thank you, sir, for that.
No. Oh, you can't go any louder. I want you all to know that America today is on bended knee in prayer for the people that flag from us here, for the workers who work here, for the families who mourn, that make them stand with the good people of New York City and New Jersey and Connecticut as we mourn the loss of thousands of our citizens. I can hear you. And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of it soon. And compassion to everybody who's here. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for making the nation proud. And may God bless America.
You can hear the chants that continue as the president climbs down off the rubble, grabbing a small American flag and waving it in the air. This crowd here clearly loving it. It's an amazing scene, and as the pictures ultimately get fed back, everyone will be able to see what we are surrounded by: complete destruction. At one point, as you heard, some of the workers who were about maybe 50 yards away from the president said, "We can't hear you." The president beckoned back, "I can hear you." And he said, quote, "The people who knock down these buildings are going to hear all of us." That's the latest with the president as he tours the destruction in Lower Manhattan. I'm David Gregory.
David Gregory, the pool reporter, the President of the United States, and that chant from hard hats of USA, USA. During Vietnam, of course, there was such a deep division in this country. The hard hats, the construction workers flying the flags, chanting USA on one side of the line, and anti-war protesters on the other. That line disappeared with this attack. It hasn't existed for a long time, of course, but there is complete unity in this country in a political sense. So many of those guys who are down there wearing the FBI jackets or the FEMA jackets or the fire department jackets or the New York Police Department jackets, hard hat guys facing danger every day. It's an extension of an earlier part of their lives. So many of them are veterans of Vietnam or veterans of the American military services, because it takes that kind of mentality and, frankly, those kinds of guts to do that work every day. Let's go to Norman Schwarzkopf. General Schwarzkopf.
Tom?
I was just thinking about the Commander-in-Chief and how important it is to be able to rally his troops, whether they're in uniform or in hard hats.
Yeah, it's always important, Tom, to have a commander-in-chief that people look up to and respect. But I don't imagine it takes too much rallying. You know, what you see when you see those firemen out there and those policemen out there is what makes America strong, and that's our people. Our enemies just make a big mistake when they think of America as an economic power, or when they think of our structures, or they think about our technology. That's not what makes America great. What makes America great is the American people, and that's what we're seeing out there right now, and we're going to see more and more of it as time goes on.
I have been so struck, General Schwarzkopf, by the number of emails that I've gotten and telephone calls as well from members of the so-called MTV generation, and describing this as a wake-up call for their generation. They know that they've been on a long, happy ride with a very strong peacetime economy, no draft out there, no one being sent off to war, good times around the world. As one of them said, we've been worrying mostly about programming our VCR on the latest piece of software, but they're now ready to turn their attention to more serious matters. So this really is having a ripple effect across the generations.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, that happened in the Gulf War. I was surprised by how many young people wrote over there and wrote us letters of support. You know, before we kicked off the ground attack, we were getting 400 tons of mail every single day. And about 99.9% of all that mail told us that our cause was just, that we were doing the right thing and they were behind us. I can't tell you how important that is, but I am absolutely convinced that when the people of the United States rally behind our armed forces, there's nothing we can't do.
And there's nothing quite like an attack on the United States to kind of coalesce this country. I'm not talking just about Pearl Harbor or even an attack of this magnitude, but there really is kind of a team spirit that takes over this country when they feel that we're being attacked, even verbally.
Yeah, you know, you think back to the great slogans, you know, remember the Maine, that was because we lost a battleship, and you know, remember the Alamo and what that did for Texas. Remember Pearl Harbor and what that did to rally the American people. I'm sure that out of this terrible, horrible event, some rallying cry is going to come forth that's going to keep us focused on what we really need to be doing.
And I would hope, too, that there would be a dialogue in the political community that would extend well beyond this crisis, and the culture community in America as well. I've been troubled for some time now about this easy, cheap confrontation culture that we've allowed to grow up around America, where everyone has to be in everyone else's face, and people resort to their, or retreat to their kind of individual fiefdoms. So maybe we will be able to get some common ground out of this in the best sense of that phrase, and that it will be helpful to us as we move through the other many difficult challenges of the 21st century. The president now, we think, is moving from this location to another one in Manhattan, where many of the families have been meeting with forensic pathologists and grief counselors. They are the many families who have become so familiar to you as they carry pictures and descriptions of their missing loved ones. It's not all that far for a presidential motorcade from the World Trade Center, but it will take a little bit of time to get there. NBC's Pat Dawson is in that area, and he can share with us now the anticipation the president